Hi everyone and welcome to DeFi Daily, the channel where every day we talk about DeFi, going through different analysis, tutorials and news. Today we're going to talk about something really important that is really able to make the whole difference in your portfolio. And I'm talking about on how to recognize a gem. Before to start, I would like to ask you to subscribe to the channel and please leave me also a thumbs up to help me spread the word, reach more people, grow the channel. This is really a small action by you, but really means a lot to me. So I would be more than grateful if you leave me a thumb up. Okay guys, remember also that all the contents in this channel are just for educational purpose and nothing has to be intended as a financial advice. If you want to invest in anything, that could be great, but remember, do always your own research. First, let's start saying what is a gem. A gem is something that is able to give you a multiplier in terms of returns compared to what is able to give you just Bitcoin. Remember that you have to use Bitcoin as a comparison for the only reason because Bitcoin is the standard. Bitcoin is the crypto that has the high return with less volatility. So if you are looking for something that has a higher risk, because remember that most of the project compared to Bitcoin and also Ethereum has a much higher risk and much higher volatility. So if you are looking for something with this kind of features, you will also have to look for something that is able to give you, to pay you more than what is just giving you Bitcoin. Otherwise, it's much easier to just hold some Bitcoins in your portfolio. So always use the pair, the altcoin against Bitcoin. And what you are looking for is something that is able to give you a 10x multiplier, a 100x multiplier compared to what is able to give you just Bitcoin. So the real question is how to recognize a gem and how not just to be fooled by something that is offering some incredible APY or something that has just a great cover but nothing behind and is something like a walking dead. Because remember that most of the cryptos into the market right now are just some walking dead. It means that they are already dead, but you just don't know it yet. And that's quite normal, especially when we are talking about a bull run. A bull run like what we are in the middle right now, it's much easier to create something that could appear great and is able to create some incredible speculative project. But it doesn't mean that it's a gem, that it would be able to hold its value in the long term. Those are two completely different stories and you have to be aware of what is just a speculative project. I'm not saying that it's wrong to invest in some speculative project. That could be absolutely fine, but you have to be aware that that's just speculation. So you need to have already done an exit strategy. You have to be always ready to leave the project and just take profit, because it's always a matter on when you take profit. That's when we are talking about speculation. Another story is when we are talking about a gem that is able to give you returns in the long term. If you are looking for the long term, it's not so important when you are entering and when you are exiting, because most of the time you will always be in profit. But if you are looking for something that is really speculative, you have always to pay attention, because this kind of projects are able to dump any moment soon, even 80% in just a couple of hours. So timing is really, really important. To understand if a project would be able to create value in the long term and if we can consider it like a gem, we have to answer to the question, what kind of unique value proposition it has. And when I'm talking about unique value proposition, is something that is making unique that kind of project. This is something that we are not seeing on the market. It is something that users are looking for and is able to create something sustainable in the long term. And this is something that people would continuously looking and wanna use. Here the keyword is sustainable, because everything to be classified as a gem has to be sustainable. Let's say for example the case of many platforms, DeFi platforms that are just be a copycat. There on the market there are many of them that are just identical to any other platform that we have already seen. This is not a way to work. I made a topic on it just in the video about pangolin. I will leave also the link in the right corner here, and I highly recommend you to have a look, because in this video I made a quick overview on why I have some mixed feelings on pangolin and what you have to pay really attention when we are trying to evaluate a project, because many of them are just saying we are cheaper, we are faster, we are unique, but in reality what they are just saying are just claiming something that's not true. Because to be sustainable, to have a real competitive advantage, it's not just to be cheaper or faster. The point when we are talking about sustainability is different. You can also have a copycat as an offer, as a platform that we are offering to your user. The point is that you need something that is making you unique and is adding some unique value. For example, you can also build a pancake swap copycat, but you need something special. Like, for example, let's say that you have a special agreement with the Chinese government that is enabling the platform to be the only one into the Chinese market. This is something that is great, and even if the platform, even if the service that they are offering could be not so great, could be just identical to what we have seen into many other DeFi platforms, they have in any case a great advantage, because they have an agreement with the Chinese government that is making them unique into the whole Chinese market. So this is the kind of unique and competitive advantage that you have to look for. A gem is a project that has something special. Could be the user experience because it's so simple, could be some great partnership, could be an agreement with the government, could be a feature that only them are able to provide for any kind of reason. And remember also that in the long term, in the long run, the branding would be the main important feature, the main important competitive advantage that any kind of DeFi platform will have. Let's say, for example, in traditional market, why are you buying, for example, Apple? Apple is not the biggest company into the world just because their technology. Nope. They are the biggest because and the greatest because of their brand, because they are building every day a greater brand. And that's all. That's something that you have to pay really close attention, because people are not choosing, at least not the mass market, is not taking decisions, not choosing a service against another service just because of their technology, not just for what they are offering, but on how people are perceiving a specific platform, a specific services. If something is perceived as more secure, as more reliable or whatever, people will come into that platform no matter what is the technology. So really pay close attention also to the branding, on how the project is communicating, because this will make the whole difference in the long run, especially when the bear market will arrive, because we don't know when. It could be just a couple of months, could be 1 year, 2 years, but a bear market will come and will take out most of the different platforms. And the platforms that will survive will be able to build a stronger brand. And the gem, at least if you are looking for a gem that you will be able to see the results into the next 3 to 5 years, are the platforms, are the tokens that will also be able to become the strongest brand into the whole ecosystem. So pay attention not only to the APR, to the APY, not only on the feature, not only on the technology, because that's not just a matter of technology, it's also a matter of perception. So it's really important on how the different platforms are treating, are communicating with their customers. For example, have you seen what Crypto.com is doing into the market? They are investing so heavily into their communication because they want to be remarkable, they want to be visible, they want to be the first choice in the mind of their customers. Because in the moment when someone is thinking, oh nice, I should try something into the DeFi world, the first answer that will come into the mind of that person will be the winning service, the winning platform. So be always aware that it's not the technology that will make a project to win. It's also a matter of branding, strategy, partnership, agreement with the governments, user experience, support, community. That's a much more complex situation. Not to mention that you also have to pay attention to tokenomics, because also if a project has a maximum supply, if a project has some inflation, how much it is, all of these features, all of these elements are making a project something that could really be able to become a gem for your portfolio, or just one of the many projects that are outside of the market that we can even use their project, we can even try to speculate on them, but in the long term, in the long run, they will never be able to make a difference into the market. So let's try to summarize what we have said. When we are looking to a gem, it is something that is able to give you some really high multiplier against the gains that you can obtain just holding Bitcoin. To recognize a gem, you have to pay attention to their unique value proposition. It means what kind of value they are offering to the customers. It's not just about offering technology. It's not just about APR or DPY. It's a more complex and more broader view. When you are looking for a project, you don't have to focusing on just one aspect, but you have to have a look to the whole picture that is comprehensive of tokenomics, of user experience, agreements with governments, with regulators, with some partnership, the communication, the marketing they are doing, how much budget they have. So as you can see, there are many different variables that you have to look at. So as you can understand, finding a gem is possible, but it really requires a lot of work. Don't just jump into a project believing that is a gem because someone has said it is. Do your own research and especially be patient, because becoming the next Apple, becoming the next Google, or just staying into the crypto world, becoming the next Uniswap, the next Eve, or the next Chainlink, or whatever, it requires time. And only people that will be able to stay into the market, to not rush things, will be able to take the advantage of this kind of gem. Remember also that do not go all in into just a project, because even if something it is a gem, it doesn't mean that it will succeed, because there are many risks. A lot can change during the time. So even if it is the best project, it is highly probable that it will fail. Not because they are bad, not because they don't have a unique value proposition that is great, but because that's the market. And that's the reason why you have to diversify and to keep your allocation on this kind of high risk project limited. Choose the 5%, the 10%. Choose an amount that is right for your vision, from the way that you want to manage your portfolio. But always be aware of the risk and what it's really able to make special a project. Guys, if you have any question, just write me into the comments below and I will be more than happy to answer to you. Please If you appreciate this kind of content, leave me also a thumb up and help me spread the word, reach more people and grow the channel. If you are not yet subscribed, please subscribe if you want to also always to be updated every time I post a new video. And I will see you tomorrow with another insight and another video. Bye guys.